let me kind of backtrack and go in the middle, because this is kind of what, to me, I'm interested in getting fewer people to even get on the streets, right? To prevent that from happening.
Yeah.
Better parenting, raising the standards of the right parents to be heroes, where we're recognizing them, all of that stuff. But let's go to the percentage of people that you saw that never left because they just weren't willing to help themselves. If you, because you're straight up now, you used to say 2011 when people ask you, how'd you end up in the streets? Well, you know, it's not fair. It's my parents, my job, my career, whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's just a system's fault. It's not my fault. And then eventually you took responsibility. Today we had another person I interviewed in the morning. His name is Chase Hughes. And he was a 20-year military guy. He did some spy warfare stuff, and he's a human intelligence. He trained CIA and DIA is what he does. Very interesting guy, body language guy. And he says when they were interviewing jurors to find out, he was training lawyers on what questions to ask jurors to see which way they lean to replace them or keep them. He said, we asked one question. How does one get a flu? And he says, normally we would get one of two answers. Either people would say, well, you know, I got kids, and when they're sick, I get sick. And, you know, it's just probably when I see other people, they touch my hands and I get sick. And those were people that blamed others for them getting sick. And then the other group would say, well, I got sick because I'm no longer exercising. I haven't had orange juice. I don't take my vitamin C like I used to. So you could immediately see one person is saying, I'm not taking care of myself. And the other one is saying, no, it's because of the luck of the draw. It's not my fault. It's somebody else, right? So I can see that part. But what percentage of people that got in and they were in Skid Row never got out, and you don't think ever will get out? Because they just don't want to help themselves.
Well, at this point, since the drugs have changed so much, so like the meth is just not what it was 10 years ago. Fentanyl is not, you know, fentanyl's a new drug. The last 5 years, it's really come on the scene. And you're just seeing such high levels of mental illness and permanent mental illness from this new meth. So I would guess 35% of people that have no chance due to mental illness.
So 35%, there's nothing that can be done about it. And the other ones, what percentage do you think finally make it back into society and live regular lives?
I'd say less than 10%.
Okay. And so that's 45%, leaving 55%. Mm-hmm. Are you saying 55% is one that could, but is just not willing? And they keep relapsing?
Well, it's not that they're not willing. It's that every single policy is enabling them to keep getting high. I mean, they are just taking the path of least resistance. I mean, of course, they need to take we need to put responsibility on the individual here, but they are not being helped. They are only being hindered by policy at this point. So yeah, about 55%.
What other ideas that you have that if you, let's just say you had a meeting with Newsom, right?
Yeah. I
looked up these numbers yesterday. I posted a tweet out because of all the fire that's taking place. And, you know, him and DeSantis had a debate, and he always calls out Florida. And I said, you know, question for Newsom, all the fires that's going on in L.A. right now. I said, Florida has hurricanes, natural disasters. California has wildfires. And according to PBS, 95% are man-made. Yeah. Meaning people are causing the 95% of fires.
Yeah.
It's not natural disasters. So what's been your plan on fixing this as a governor the last 6 years? Where's the urgency? 2024, 8,000 wildfires, million acres. Your state is filled with some of the brightest minds in America. Why don't you call an emergency meeting to unite the entire state and prevent this from continuously happening? So I pose this question. Homelessness in the state of California. He's been governor since 2019. 2025, 6 years. He was lieutenant governor from 2011 to 2019.
Yeah.
That's an 8-year run we're talking about. So total, we're talking 14 years, right?
Yeah.
That he's been at it. If Newsom is sitting and wanting to actually talk to somebody that successfully made it out, what ideas and policies would you give to a guy like that? Or is he not even part of the solution?
Well, if he wants to be president one day, he better be part of the solution. I mean, that's his only chance, I think, of becoming president is if he fixes this problem specifically.
Tell me why.
Because this is the blight of the nation. I mean, this is a huge issue that is so visible, and it's magnified by news outlets and independent media and everyone. When you think of California 40 years ago, you thought about surfers and the ocean, and when you think about California now, you think about a crazy homeless guy. I mean, that's it, and maybe that's exaggerated, but whatever. That is the image that comes up in your head. So if he tries to run, that's what people in Kansas are going to think, and that's what people in Pennsylvania are going to think. They're going to think about that homeless guy. So I'd love to talk to him. I don't know if he'd be willing, but I think at some point he's got to be. And I would say I would work with the federal government, and I would get FEMA involved, and I would basically set up camps in places like Los Angeles and San Francisco, and start rounding people up that are homeless, and like have triage tents and everything, and just try to figure out what group are you in? Are you just a drug addict? Are you purely mentally ill? Or is it economic reasons? And then those are the three main categories. And shoot people out into those three different categories. And if you're a drug addict, we need to take Treasure Island or Alcatraz and just convert it into a long-term treatment center. Something like that. And you're here for 6 months, and we're going to bring in professionals. We're going to bring in economic experts that know where the economy is going to be in 5 to 10 years and what needs we have, what kind of job needs we have. We're going to start training people. The greatest thing for people getting sober is to develop a sense of self-worth and self-esteem and purpose. And a really good way to do that is to get a job that pays you a decent wage for hard work. But you could help build. Biden passed this infrastructure bill. We could be training people to build bridges, repair bridges, welding. We can train people to become industrial plumbers. I mean, if their mindset is geared towards something like that, or maybe some people are more geared towards IT. I mean, listen, I met smart people out there. I met talented people out there. So now I don't know if that breaks any constitutional laws, rounding people up and putting them on Alcatraz. I mean, I'm sure you've broken a few laws doing that, but he needs to declare a state of emergency. And then the people that are mentally ill, we need to house them. We need to gauge each individual on what level of permanent care do you need. Now, is this a problem that we can just fix and we can just give you medication and we can put you in some supportive housing and with, some guidance and some oversight? Or do you need to be in like a hospital for the rest of your life? This is just this is the dark truth. I mean, this is going to cost a lot of money, but we just burned $24 billion. So the money is there if we just stop burning the money that we've been burning. Yeah, that's I believe he went to rehab because he had a sex scandal, and he has it out for recovery. I mean, he's quoted as saying, "Sobriety is the biggest damn mistake this country ever made." Quoted on video. And this is a country that I love America, but we had slavery. We've had a few mistakes. I don't think sobriety is the biggest damn mistake we ever did. Clean and sober is the biggest damn mistake this country ever made.
I remember that.
What? I don't know what that means. So this is when the problem increased tenfold.
Rob, can you play that clip of him saying that?
Watching Sunday Morning Matters on KC.
You got to find it.
That's 8 minutes. Let me find an actual version of it.
Yeah, so he just has it out for recovery, and because the current system wasn't working incredibly well, so he tried the opposite approach, which is anti-recovery, housing first. I mean, you know how long it takes to pull a permit in California to build a structure? It takes like 800 or 900 days. It costs $900,000 to build one of these little homeless units. I mean, there is a lot of grift. There is a lot of money laundering. There's a lot of just straight up theft going on.
Yeah, I remember this clip. If you want to play it, Rob.
Clean and sober is one of the biggest damn mistakes this country's ever made. I know it's a hold your hand idealistic point of view that somehow magically, I mean, God bless some of you. If you're like me, I've been known to have a glass of wine at night watching some of the nightly news. We all need to self-medicate periodically. Clean and sober.
Yeah. He's in charge of the 5th largest economy in the world. It's crazy.
That's the example.
Yeah.
Nowadays, more than ever, the brand you wear reflects and represents who you are. So for us, if you wear a Future Looks Bright hat or a Valuetainment gear, you're telling the world, I'm optimistic. I'm excited about what's going to be happening, but you're a free thinker. You question things. You like debate. And by the way, last year, 120,000 people got a piece of Future Looks Bright gear with Valuetainment. We have so many new things. The cufflinks are here. New Future Looks Bright. This is my favorite, the green one. Just yesterday, somebody placed an order for 100 of these. If you watch the PBD podcast, you got a bunch to choose from. White ones, black ones. If you smoke cigars and you come to our cigar lounge, we have this high quality lighter cutter and a holder for the cigars. We got sweaters with the Valuetainment logo on it. We got mugs. We got a bunch of different things. But if you believe the future looks bright, if you follow our content and what we represent with Valuetainment, with PBD Podcast, go to vtmerch.com. And by the way, if you order right now, there's going to be a special VT gift inside just for you. So again, go to vtmerch.com, place your order, tell the world that you believe the future looks bright. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.